right, what's going on, everybody? So, happy New Year to all the people out there, to the whole Baby Doge army. Shout out to y'all. We're gonna be talking about some of the new stuff going on in Baby Doge. Haven't been making videos lately, just cause it's the holidays. But we're gonna be talking about a lot today. What we've missed over the last week hasn't really been much, but we're just gonna talk about that. Talk about some prices. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. But let's get straight into it. So, right now we are about 8Z3079, 8Z3080, and we're right at that support line here at that Fibonacci retracement, really getting ready to decide whether or not we're going to break down below that. And I haven't seen any evidence on this chart showing that we're going to just take off right now. So at the moment right now, it does look like we're probably going to end up breaking this support at this Fibonacci. There's just not enough strength, not enough momentum here. It's just getting rejected every single time it tries to get above there. So it does look like it's ready to drop. So just saying, it does look like it's ready to have a decrease in the price. You can kind of see a little bit of a descending triangle here, a descending triangle, the wedge pattern. So right now I am really considering well, not considering selling, obviously, but I am considering the possibility that Baby Doge is gonna continue to go down a little bit further. I know there's a lot of people that probably do not want to hear that, but this is a descending triangle. So if you look at it, it's evident. This is a descending triangle. It's pretty much making its way down, right? And if we cannot break out at the end of this triangle, like this is literally what I like to call the inflection point, because this is where it decides whether or not it's gonna be going up or down, right? And at this moment, I do believe we're gonna be breaking down on the downside. Now, sometimes this could be a bullish pattern, right? But that is usually around areas like this, like if it breaks out early from the descending triangle. Now, it's been in this one for a while and it's looking like it wants to break down some more. We only have a $33 million market cap. Support's been holding pretty good, but other than that, we've been really struggling here with Baby Doge. Something kind of similar has happened before inside of Baby Doge. When we had the initial pump, when that whole tweet with Elon Musk happened, and then everything just started to go up from there. So that's really what I'm paying attention to here. What happened before? Now, it doesn't always follow what happened before. Remember back in February earlier this year, we had a huge major pump and then it was down, down, and down until it finally went off again. Remember what everything else was doing around that time. So, as everything else was, making its moves, making its rounds, Bitcoin was increasing. It was kind of sideways movement from there, but it still was increasing a little bit. So, if you look back here, around, let's say, March 10th, right? Baby Doge hit its peak and then it was down all the way up until about September. Looking at Bitcoin around the same time in March, Bitcoin when it was at its peak and it went down, but it didn't go down as hard as Baby Doge. It was still in that general area, right? It went all the way up to like 73K. And then when it went back down, the lowest it went back down to was about 53K. So that's what happened to Bitcoin. So what I'm pretty much saying here is we're ultimately always following Bitcoin, but when Bitcoin goes down, we go down harder, right? When Bitcoin goes up, we usually go up more. So that's what I'm kind of trying to get at here. So if we see Bitcoin dropping down to like 80K, 70K, then we could end up seeing Baby Doge going down to about 8Z2, 8Z1. And yeah, those are unforeseen levels that we haven't seen in a while. But if it does happen, like that's not necessarily a good thing, but it's a good thing for people that want to buy more. And like I said, if you bought all the way at the top, you can always dollar cost average in at the bottom. So what do I mean by this? If you have like 2 trillion Baby Doge, right? You bought all the way at 8Z60. Well, you have a very high dollar cost. You have a very high cost right there, right? But you could take the same amount of money that it took you at 8Z6, because if you think about it, 2 trillion baby doge, let's do that, multiplied by 8z6, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, 8z6, that is about, actually I think I did 2 quadrillion. Let me do that again. But yeah, I meant to do 2 trillion. So 2 trillion baby doge, as you can see, million, billion, trillion, it'll be $12,000. All right, I can do the math in my head. It'll be $12,000. But I just wanted to show it to you guys. So anyways, $12,000, right? If you got in all the way at 8z6 with 2 trillion baby doge, that's 12,000. But let's say you're like, oh man, that's only half my money. I never put in more than what I'm willing to lose anyway, right? So let's just say you wait till it drops all the way down to like 8z1, and you're like, you know what? I'll put half of that in. I'll put 6,000 in at 8z1, right? That will get you a bunch of baby does, right? So that's actually one more zero than I meant to do. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1. So that would be 6 trillion baby doge. Let's say you're like, you know what? No, I just want to hold this until baby doge doesn't even go all the way up. It doesn't even have to go all the way up now for you to make that money tenfold, because you're down. You got to think of it. You're down $10,000, because 2 trillion baby doge at 8z1 is $2,000. So you're down 10,000. Well, if you just want to break even, you were like, you know what? I just want to break even. How much would you really have to get to break even? Well, if 8z1 is $6,000 with 6 trillion baby doge, then you also got to think 8z2 would be double that price, which would be $12,000. So doing the math here, we can go ahead and do 8z2, which is $12,000. So you lost $10,000, right? You went from 10,000 to 2,000, from 8z6 all the way down to 8z1. You went from $10,000 down to 2,000, and then you took 6,000 and then you put it in at 8z1. So now it only has to go up to 8z2 for you to get 12,000, plus the 2,000 that you had before. So remember, you had 2,000 before at 8z1. So now when it goes up to 8z2, that is really 4,000. So when you think about it, you lost 10,000 initially, and you just put in $6,000. So if you subtract that by 10,000, really, to technically break even, you need 6,000 more dollars. So that is maybe may seem a little complicated, but give or take, you would actually have to just run out to like 8z25 or 8z3 to really break even from there. So what I'm pretty much saying is, if you bought at the peak at 8z6 and then you bought all the way at the bottom at 8z1, all you would really have to do is get it back up to 8z3 or 8z25 to make a little bit more money than what you lost. So that's the power of dollar cost averaging. And I just kind of wanted to, say that, because dollar cost averaging, a lot of people don't think about it. They're like, I bought at the peak. But it's all right. If you bought at the peak, you can always make that money back. And the price, I do believe, is going to continue to rise from here. I don't think this is the end of the pump. Even though I do think that we might break down below this descending triangle here, it does have the possibility to keep pumping. I will say that it does have the possibility to just break out and keep pumping. But right now, I'm leaning more to the side of us going down to the support at 8Z2200. I've been mentioning 8Z2200 for a while now, and I think that is about to happen. But after that, I do think it could become bullish after that. So that's what I'm really looking out for right now. So yeah, that's what I'm really watching out for. Now, as the holders, we're still getting a good amount of holders here for baby doge. Still lots of holders. 78.50 on the Solana side of things. Baby doge properties, they just now, well, they're not doing it yet, but they're about to release it. They said it's almost ready. So I guess that's a good thing. It's not really going to help the price, but they're building that. Baby doge now live on PYDX. So you can go ahead and check that out. This is just some of the stuff that we missed over the last week. Not much has happened, like I said before. They got the Telegram trading bot. I already mentioned that on a previous video. And then they got the roadmap. Remember, they said they were going to do all this stuff. So I guess we're waiting for some of that. The wallet, they did say they were going to do Q4 2024, but they didn't actually do that. I guess they're focused on a properties thing more. Um, but they'll probably end up doing it Q1 2025. So we might see the wallet coming out, maybe, possibly. But other than that, I do still believe that there is a little bit of strength that could happen here with Baby Doge. So there is still a possibility that we could break out, but I'm leaning more closer to the downside here now. So as you can see here with our little indicators here with chart prime, we're at the discounted price point right now. Um, if we could actually break out and go towards that premium price up here at 8C3200, that would deem us bullish, and then we would actually have that momentum to keep building up. We would probably end up becoming very bullish after that if we could break past this, the top of this wedge pattern. That's a big if. I don't think that we're going to end up doing that. I just don't think we're going to. Just everything that I've seen with the how the chart's moving right now, it doesn't really look too good. It doesn't look like we're about to have some huge, massive breakout, right? It just seems like we're at the end of this wedge pattern, and like this is the inflection point, right? This is that point that we decide whether or not it's going to continue to pump or not, or just break down, right? And it's been down here for a little bit too long, so yeah, I'm leaning more closer to 8Z2200. But let me know what you guys think. Like I said, at 8Z2200, 8Z2, around that area, that's where I'm looking to pick up some more Baby Doge. I'm gonna do my dollar cost average thing. Now, whether or not it could go all the way down to 8Z1, that would kind of suck because you would probably end up seeing Bitcoin dropping down even more as well. And if you think about it, looking at the prices of the last year, we were at 8Z1 September 14th. Where was Bitcoin at September 14th? Bitcoin was around 60K. So technically speaking, if Bitcoin goes back to 60K, then Baby Doge goes back to 8Z1, technically speaking. So that's why I'm like, hopefully Bitcoin doesn't crash all the way down to 60K. Because if it does, we will see an 8Z1 Baby Doge. But then you get dollar cost average. And dollar cost averaging, a lot of people just don't understand how it works, which sucks that they don't understand how it works because it's one of the greatest things when you're doing crypto or stocks. Like if you think about it, $6,000 at 8Z1, 6 trillion Baby Doge, all you would have to do is get that back up to, like I was saying before, let's say it went up to 8Z3, like that's $18,000. If you had 10,000 in, your money went down, and then all of a sudden you only had $1,000, right? You could literally put in 6,000 and turn it to 18,000. Now you made all your money back and some, because now you have your 18,000, and then you have your money, your other money, which would probably be like 5,000-6,000 at that point. So you're still making a lot of money. So it is what it is. A lot of people, hopefully, they'll understand the concepts. But yeah, dollar cost averaging is very important. So I just see a lot of people inside of Baby Doge that get really upset when the prices drop, but you should get upset when the price drops just a little and it doesn't want to go back up. But when the price drops a lot, you should actually get happier if you have more money. If you don't have more money to put in, then you're screwed. You shouldn't have put in that money in the first place if you weren't willing to lose it and you didn't have any more money to back that money up. But yeah, you always want money to back up your money. You always need money to back up your money. That's just something I made up right there. But anyways, this is all I got for you all today. Let me know what you think about this. Are you thinking about dollar cost averaging in at 8Z2? Or are you thinking about waiting and seeing if we can hit 8Z1? Because I'm almost positive that we'll get at least down below this price point here. But it might not happen. It might continue to go up. I might be wrong. Hopefully I am wrong and it just starts taking off. Same thing with Bitcoin. And we are inside of the new year right now. So all of this could be invalidated just based off that one thing. Bitcoin could start taking off now because of the new year, and then everything else could start following it. And then we could be entering altcoin season and meme coin season because of the new year. So that could also be a huge factor in this because, at the end of every year, prices typically drop in crypto and the stock market. So now at the beginning of the year, the new year, prices usually go up in crypto. So this is definitely something that you would want to pay attention to and look out for. If you actually look back here, going into the new year for 2024, massive pump for Bitcoin. So that wasn't it didn't happen immediately, by the way, right? It started happening in February going into March. So February into March, as you can see here, January it starts to go up. At the end, going into February and March, the price just started increasing massively. So that happens a lot inside of crypto. And also, if you look at what happened for 2023, I believe there was also something similar for 2023, where you can see going into January, it was pumping huge inside of January and February. Went back down in March, but then continued to pump inside of March as well. That was 2023. And if we go all the way back here, we look at 2024, or no, 2022 was a little bit different. 2022 was the peak of that previous bull market. So you didn't really see the price increase a lot like you did the other years. So there is a possibility that Bitcoin's going to be taking off January, February, March, which will also cause Baby Doge to take off January, February, March. So that is exactly what I'm looking out for. That's exactly what I'm waiting for. It may or may not happen that way. Again, Baby Doge kind of waited until February and then just had a huge pump going into March. The last time, same thing back here with 2023, January going into February, huge pump. And then, as you know, 2022, that's the end of the bull market that we had in 2022. That was the end of that bull market. That's why we went down January, February, because we were already at the peak of a bull market. And then we went down. Right now, we're not necessarily at the peak of a bull market. We're pretty much at the start of a bull market. And we had our pullback from the start. So, technical terms, we should have some more momentum to continue to rise. I just don't know if we're going to pull back down to 8Z2 before we have that rise. That's what I'm really paying attention to. If we pull back at this area before the next pump. So that's what I got for you all today. If you want these automated trading indicators, check out Chart Prime, link in the description. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Hit the like button and subscribe. And as always, I'll be back with another video.